My bold prediction is there are gonna be losers who all cumulatively lose more than $500 billion in market cap, and that's gonna happen in the next 3 years.
That's Alex Mashabov, a Forbes 30 under 30 AI expert and the CEO of Higgsfield AI. He sold his last company, AI Factory, in a big hit acquisition by Snapchat, became an executive at one of the most successful tech companies, then left that well-paid, well-respected job to start his next journey. That new company is already a super hit. Everyone's talking about how he reached 50 million ARR in just 6 months.
The content on social media today is not diverse. Any work which would require 3D animation or VFX would be impossible to do for social media because of the high cost for production. We've got a lot of advice from investors that video AI is it's like red ocean, and we shouldn't be pursuing like these prosumer markets. We expect that by the end of the decade, most of the content on the socials is gonna be generated by AI.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, the products in 1 month will look completely different than it looks today. No one knows what's gonna be.
Yeah.
No one knows. But there are gonna be some losers, and Meta can be the loser as well. And we are ready for this race. We're ready for this race.
So hi everyone, good afternoon. So welcome to our podcast. And today we are really happy to welcome my co-host Chang from Hockey Stick Growth. And also we are really happy to welcome our first guest of this podcast is Alex, the CEO and founder of the Higgsfield. And maybe Chang will also give an introduction and then introduce Alex to our audience.
Yeah, so I know that you have a very successful career and journey so far, and your last company, AI Factory, was a big hit, and you took a successful acquired by Snapchat, and you become a executive at one of the most successful tech companies, and now that you are starting your next journey. It's already become a super hit, and everyone talking about how you reached the 50 million ARR in just 6 months. So we are super excited to have you today and to really deep dive into your successful journey as well as what's looking for Higgsfield in the future.
Thank you so much. I definitely spent all my professional career, like 10 years, working in the space of video AI. And it's exciting to see how we progressed from like images 64 pixels by 64 pixels to like, let's say 15, 20, 30 second long consistent videos.
Gotcha. So for many early career professionals, they were like, if I can work for Snapchat, it will be my dream job. What do you see in the market that becomes the biggest trigger for you to leave a well-paid and a well-respected job in the tech industry to start your own journey?
Totally. Look, I think what we have seen is that social media became the main distribution platform, the most important form of media. We have seen how mobile phones and advanced cameras really propel, and then TikTok, they propelled certain type of content to, and I think, but that represents only maybe like 5-10%, as the content on social media today is not diverse.
Yeah.
The diversity of content, if we look at like, let's say TV, or if we look at Hollywood, the diversity of content is way higher compared to social media. And I think naturally video AI is closing the gap. In the past, any work which would require 3D animation or VFX would be impossible to do for social media because of the high cost for production. And social media really requires velocity of releasing a few pieces of content a day. And I think that's where Gen AI provides net new benefits.
Yeah, and also probably to give the audience who actually right now are not that familiar with our product Higgsfield, maybe could you give us a short intro about what Higgsfield is and what some core products that you think that will quickly give our audience or user aha moment? What kind of use cases they are creating right now very frequently?
Totally. Where it all started, I think, for Higgsfield when we launched March 31st is camera control effects. That's extremely popular across various use cases, especially in the e-commerce space. And that's where we see consistent usage throughout the time. So all the e-commerce use cases drive a lot of adoption.
Okay.
And then I would say we have not probably seen yet the adoption of longer form AI generated videos.
We haven't.
We have not. I think Sora gave us like an early preview of what it will look like, but the perception was that it's slop, brain rot, and so on. And I think so. For example, at Higgsfield, we invest after we successfully raised Series A, we can invest substantially more in professional workflows and really focusing on these high-value use cases.
Right.
Then are you implying that right now that a lot of AI video adoption is still in a more amateur user group, there are more casual use cases, not necessarily the professional video producers like for longer form video and for more commercial use cases?
Most of Higgsfield use comes from professionals.
Okay.
Way over 60% based on like our user survey. And I think what's interesting to me, but I think all these people, they are interested in video AI, and Higgsfield is probably the easiest platform to access all those various models. And it really, and as the number of people who are interested in video AI exponentially grows, we expect to see the same growth for Higgsfield as well as we ride the wave. But that's only one part of the story. I think the second part of the story is trying to go another route and really improving or upgrading existing workflows. Like for example, the storyboarding use case has been around for quite a while. Clearly, it can be done with AI. It requires it requires more than just a model integration. It requires collaboration layer and so on. And that's what we are building in Higgsfield as well.
Gotcha. So we have the new features announcing last week about the popcorn.
Yes, and the team plan release like in the next 48 hours.
Right. I have one more question, maybe to dig deeper into the user profile. So did you see any change of the users like in the content creation or generative media group that how they are evolving? Because at the beginning, I think a lot of users came from the image generation, and then came the Sora 1 or other video models, and then some users evolved from image creation to video creation, and also bring some new users or new professional users. So have you seen the same similar trend in the Higgsfield, and how your product try to evolve to meet the different needs from different group of new users?
That's a good question, and I think we don't focus on animated content that much, while Midjourney clearly does. We're focused on the use cases for social media, which really require a lot of like aesthetic photo shoots, like let's say with AI actors, and also product placements. I think that's the most of the adoption on the platform is driven by these two major segments.
And also, so on the product side, I think our next question is, I think there are different kinds of directions, or I see on Higgsfield platform, because one, you have like different features or tools based on image, and then you have different tools or features based on video, and then you create different use cases like for app, popcorn, for storyline. So I just wonder, could you share some philosophies of behind this product or your product's roadmap, and how did it go from zero to current products offered on the platform?
Look, I think the bet which we make is we will build the best product, the best interface for social media professionals to access video AI tools. You're right, that as models improve, the product must drastically improve. So I guarantee you the products in 1 month will look completely different than it looks today.
Okay.
And we are ready for this race. We're ready for this race. As we expect that by the end of the decade, most of the content on the socials is gonna be generated by AI.
Yeah.
Probably it's gonna happen by the end of 2028, in the next 3 years. And I think so when we think about that, we talk really about adoption of maybe 50, 100 million paying users. That's what we will expect. Clearly now most of the companies like Higgsfield are in maybe high digit hundreds of thousands of paying users. It is still 2 magnitudes, 3 magnitudes lower than it will be.
Yeah.
So clearly today we are going through early adoption stage, and we do believe that by the end of the next year there are going to be 1 or 2 major use cases which will be considered 1-2 major marketing use cases which will be considered to be fully covered by AI. For example, in LLM, everyone is talking that customer support is being replaced by AI, by LLMs. Yeah, and I think the same, we're gonna see at least 1 use case next year.
A killer use case.
Yeah, killer use case. No one knows what's gonna be. No one knows.
Do you have any predictions?
Look, I think what we see, I can only transparently say that the product placement e-commerce is definitely a big one.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think the structure of the e-commerce market is also not balanced, meaning that there are large marketplaces which impose their own agenda, but and they have a lot of control. But also there are all these smaller direct-to-consumer brands. Think about creative teams of 3-6 people who use Higgsfield today.
Right.
And when this adoption happens, I think it's important to also acknowledge that there is a major part of the market which is programmatic.
Yep.
So many companies like TikTok, Meta, Google, they're all built on the programmatic advertisements.
Yeah.
The algorithm.
Yes, so it's really high margin business. So I think the most interesting, the most profound application of video AI on social media is actually going to touch all these ad tech platforms.
Yeah.
Meaning that they found some equilibrium where, let's say, the user experience or on Instagram is good enough, meaning that we see ad every maybe 8 or every 10 videos we watch ads.
Yeah.
And users think it's good.
Yeah.
But also it makes enough money for Meta to pay $1 billion for each researcher, right? And I think, but at some point with Gen AI, equilibrium is gonna look different. So there are gonna be winners, and likely Google and ByteDance are gonna be winners, but there are gonna be some losers, and Meta can be the loser as well. Yeah, there is definitely a possibility of this happening, right? I think it's unfair to say today that Google or ByteDance are under the risk, simply because their distribution is strong, their vertical integration capabilities are strong, but also AI capabilities are strong, and the AI R&D teams are strong, and they have the capacity. So I wouldn't bet against these two, but everyone else, I mean, Meta, Snapchat, Pinterest.
OpenAI is also trying.
Yeah, OpenAI is also imposing the risk. Everyone is under the risk. Obviously, Higgsfield is under the risk as well, but I'm saying that there is a way bigger market which is going to be impacted by video AI as well.
Gotcha.
Probably another perspective or another question I have is that, so you got a lot of huge user base right now, and then you receive product requests or any requests from the, for you to make new twists on your products, and then you have your core product roadmap, right? Because you have to ship features, right, every 2 weeks based on your schedule. So how do you balance overall in the feature requests from the users and your own vision or your core product roadmaps, especially on such a dynamic?
Yeah, my learning is to focus less on the own vision and really focus on what users need today.
Okay.
And just accept it's gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
Just accept it's gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that those professional users, if they pay for Video Gen AI today, they will be paying for Video Gen AI forever, basically, because we see this to be the future.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need to learn how to adapt to their needs, which are adjusting as well. So just to be fully clear, I think 9 out of top 10 agencies use Higgsfield today.
Mm-hmm.
And today they use it for storyboarding. There are maybe only a few large ads where Higgsfield was involved,
mm-hmm.
but it's not being done on a daily basis. But storyboarding happens on, every minute someone makes storyboards for Higgsfield for commercial purposes.
Yeah.
And then I think naturally the industry is going to evolve from storyboards to social media ads.
Right.
It's gonna start with social media ads, maybe in emerging markets where risks are lower. Then it's gonna go to the United States,
mm-hmm.
and then it's gonna get amplified by performance marketing budget, and the space is going to evolve, and the use case is going to evolve. So the goal for us is to make sure that the Higgsfield products evolves. When I talk about the team plans, it is relatively easy bet,
mm-hmm.
to the extent it is not adding complexity for existing users,
mm-hmm.
right? So single player mode and multiplayer mode are kind of two different branches.
Right.
So, but I think for when I look at our main page today, I can fully acknowledge that we are actively A/B testing different variations.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As we try to also, while a lot of users got attracted to Higgsfield because of visual effects and all these camera effects, which I was talking about,
mm-hmm.
I think the main page should evolve as well.
Okay.
Gotcha. And in terms of in terms of to verify that how well that we are actually satisfying the user's requests, do you use any systems, frameworks to decide?
Yeah, we are actively monitoring the ratings, number of complaints on Zendesk.
Mm-hmm.
We actively monitor the refund rates via Stripe, number of support emails. We track this very actively on a weekly basis with breakdown by categories. And I can tell you that today, all this AI video tooling, including Higgsfield,
mm-hmm.
the main issue is the cost.
Is the cost? Okay.
Is the cost. Because I think it ultimately comes down to the fact that the entry price just to try things out in mature markets like the United States, maybe $30 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And still with Sora, the cost of the video, of good-looking video,
mm-hmm.
may be $3-5 after several attempts
Mm-hmm.
to get something good. And then I think someone could try to do a more sophisticated video with Sora, for example,
mm-hmm.
and it could be difficult to do.
Right.
That's where
It's more intense.
they just run out of credits,
mm-hmm.
and they get the initial aha moments where they get their idea sort of visualized, which was never possible before.
Mm-hmm.
But then people who want to push it forward, they may feel that it just becomes too expensive
Right.
and too difficult. I think just running out of credits and feeling that, again, I think most of the people, they have this initial aha moment with Higgsfield, but then they run out of credits and they don't get exact piece which they are comfortable posting.
Mm-hmm.
So improving the quality and doing investing more into the R&D and the post-training to get more predictable outputs, I think that's a top priority.
Continuity of the video, the content. Right. I probably have one more question on the product because Chang, actually we discussed that you mentioned a lot about the short drama in your previous podcast, and then you have really a forward-looking view on how this type of content evolved especially in these recent years. So does that actually contribute to your decision or vision in our product roadmap, or especially like popcorn, you have storyline. I think when it gets longer, and then probably everyone can create a short drama.
We are not going to go after the short drama markets, but I learned a lot and happy to share that. So clearly, over the last century, the most popular type of content which is consumed are dramas. Dramas on TV, books, and it was a huge gap 10 years ago that no one did dramas for the phone. And that trend started from China. Now this market is over $10 billion globally, and it grew over 10 times. And it was less than $1 billion, I think 5 years ago it was less than $1 billion. So it grew very, very
really
quickly.
Quick.
And I think so when I look and when you go to airports here in the United States, most of the books are gonna be like drama related. You go to Kazakhstan, the same story. It's sort of the type of content which goes really well throughout the world and which can be monetized really well. When I say monetized really well, I really wanna double down on the demographics, as dramas tend to relate with older demographics, and especially the fictional dramas. So the fictional dramas, the dramas about werewolves, vampires, have a lot of opportunity to grow due to video AI capabilities. As the cost of, as typically these dramas are made with like budgets 10, 100 times lower than traditional TV budgets. So we talk about a few $1,000s a minute. Clearly, no 3D animation can be done under this budget. So that's where video Gen AI provides essential capabilities. Although this is not where the disruption is going to come from. I think the first area for disruption is actually going to be related with promotion of these dramas. These drama companies, they grow heavily through performance marketing.
Right.
They also have organic distribution channels where they cut the most exciting part from the drama and
the trailer,
trailers
on the social media channels. Some short drama company, they have like 1,000 organic accounts from themselves. So that can also potentially be one of the channels they use, but they spend a lot on the performance marketing.
Right.
Exactly. So I think we're gonna just see the systems, multi-agent systems, which help to make variations of the top performing creative. And that's day and night difference for performance marketing. When you think about that, the budget to make a good drama can be $500K. Maybe 1 out of 7, 1 out of 10 dramas must be a hit. But then the budget to promote it can be tens of millions of dollars. It's way bigger. So, and there are going to be just one creative who takes most of this budget. So that's why I say this is a major opportunity. And so this is the first area. And I think the second area is really going to come outside of the. So I think that's sort of like the bottom-up approach. As we have seen some companies actually, like Fox News partnered with short-form drama company recently and invested in them. But that's really a little bit like bottom-up approach. I think what we're gonna see is that today the way how the funding in TV and Hollywood, the funding in TV and Hollywood is being changed as well, as everyone tries to rely on well-performing IP so that they can guarantee some return of capital. Ultimately, there is a lot of IP which was popular in the 80s and 90s, and today one of the popular topics which I constantly hear is to do reskinning. So meaning like take like kind of, so it's not like exactly video to video, but it's sort of video to video.
Okay.
So it's not just like applying anime style and saying it's good. So it's not like what I was doing with face filters in the past, but it's really about, okay, what if we take like Mickey Mouse from 90 cents, which is even like now in public domain, and what if we make it, what if we just iterate with over different visual styles? And the same can be applied to taking old movies and trying to kind of make sort of the next chapter of the movie and sort of do this youngification, or how to say, make like older actors.
Change a different thing,
yes.
different actors.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And change different details,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's present in the
Different
movie.
Yeah. So the IP is well trusted, and they just make different skins. That's popular in games like Counter-Strike, even like these hyper casual games. They all typically monetize reskinning really well.
Have same machine, same
Yeah.
engine.
Yeah, the same engine. And I think that we will see some of that by the end of the decade as well, where there are gonna be like new AI first franchises. And those franchises likely gonna start from something which was already battle tested before.
I see. Yeah, great. And probably we're gonna dive into the growth and marketing, because I saw, just as Chang mentioned, Higgsfield just really such a hit this year, and go from go to 50 million ARR really quickly. And so for part of our audience, right, Higgsfield actually entered into a very noisy market at the beginning, because there are also a lot of tools regarding video generation or the image generation already in the market. So, could you share us some story of co-starting at the very beginning? How actually you grow actually from one feature to the market, or what kind of experiments you have tried at the beginning to co-start on the platform?
Look, I think that our approach doesn't really change. We see there are two types of creators. First type of creator is those who want to make just viral content. And the second type are AI educators. AI educators is the most popular type of key opinion leaders for us. And I can tell you that's the same story which we have seen in Snapchat. As like the natural interest to adopt AI visual tools is just very high, and these accounts grow. So partnerships with those accounts, with those influencers, with those creators actually help to build awareness about what we're building at Higgsfield.
And also, so at the beginning, like to dive deeper, which channels do you find these two group of people are active most, or which type of channels have you tried?
Instagram is the most productive.
Okay.
Instagram is the most productive, and YouTube is gonna be next.
Okay.
But you guys are also super successful on Twitter. Then how do you position?
Yeah, Twitter is a great platform, but I think it has its own, it has like this very, I'd say it has like very well defined sub communities sort of.
Yeah.
Each sub community could be a little extreme to the level they push. But it also includes a lot of professionals as well, obviously. And I think Instagram is just a little more, if you think just about like the growth machine and really making sure that there is a well standardized process and you appeal to wider audience, not just each of these small sub communities, Instagram is definitely that platform.
Gotcha.
And as Higgsfield builds more this workflow functionality, then YouTube becomes more important as well.
Gotcha. And then you're also talking about the e-commerce company, different marketing teams. Then how do you think about distribution on LinkedIn and more on the B2B side of a partnership?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn comes after YouTube. After YouTube. So we still are not necessarily in a position to go after like specific use cases yet. So now we cover like those workflows for creative marketing teams first. That's why presence on Instagram and YouTube is very important.
Yeah.
And as we feel that the technology is mature, that hopefully platform is mature as well, then focusing on specific use cases is going to be important.
Gotcha. So from the very beginning that you're more targeting to have a really broad, appealing type of brand campaigns, so that the early adopter for the AI technology, especially
Yes.
the AI video technology, will get familiar with our brand and
Yes.
because their nature, that
Yes.
they will be a lot easier to start to adopt before we started to have more verticalized operation to
Yes.
targeting very specific use cases
Yeah.
and marketing.
Exactly, because when we talk about more like it becomes more and more verticalized like every month. But it's important to acknowledge that like story is the only model today to make like the final video. Like it can be done with like Higgsfield popcorn and like WAN model as well. But I think it's still a little bit early. So clearly social media professionals, they don't need to make those small segments, they need the final video. But the technology is not fully there yet. It's coming in the next 3 months. Again, the Higgsfield platform is going to look completely different. It's like completely different. I just think that we just kind of follow the natural evolution of the technology.
Gotcha. And for all your peer competitors that they're also following the same technology trend, what would you say is the biggest thing that sets you guys apart? That how come that you stand out while the other competitors that they may or may not?
Yeah, like OpenAI, they build their own social media. I think Luma is a very talented team of researchers. Also, obviously, Vio. I mean, they probably go after like TV and Hollywood. In the social media space, yes, there are companies which try to take different approach. We're just taking an approach of riding the wave and betting that the wave is gonna get just bigger and we can be like on top of the wave, like really riding the wave, right? That's our bet. And I think, but we stay within the realm of social media marketing. It's just gonna get more verticalized by use cases as we move forward. The storyboard is just the first example of that. Like the camera control was the example number 0. Like this storyboard is number 1, and like you are just gonna see way higher pace of iteration by use cases from Higgsfield going forward. And this is a function of technology maturing and market maturing as well.
And to deep dive on the like social media, or you just mentioned the influencer marketing, because I heard a lot of stories today that influencers or KOLs are getting really the very competitive right now because everyone wants to chase for the top KOLs or
That's
top
a good
creators.
point. That's by the way a good point.
Yeah,
that's a very good point. So and that's really actually surprising to me. The number of people who want to make like mind-blowing content is crazy. They want to make Higgsfield platform is good for that. They just do and it goes viral and it's like, but so this number there is definitely there is enough of these people there. But I think the question is about the AI educators, and I can tell you it's like less than 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem.
Yeah.
Because the adoption of AI is, especially let's say we talk about marketing, like in marketing space, there are pros and cons about that. Pros is that there are a lot of experimental budgets. Cons is like people kind of love to be taught, they love the workshops and so on, but the number of people who can do that is very small.
And right now they're actually seeing a lot of companies, brands big and small, they're all trying to pitch in to the top AI educators. What's your suggestion to your to the peer founders that they're also trying to pitch the same group of creators to start to
we are competing with them, right? So there is no like good advice. There is no good advice. I think that's definitely a limitation. I see some companies trying to develop their own AI spokesperson, grow their own accounts. It becomes more important. Look, I think, but that's definitely, if we look at this,
it takes longer time to develop your own account.
Yeah, but that's exactly, and I think this is definitely like lack of AI educators is one of the major concerns holding industry back.
I think the other trend that I see that is that so for the there are top KOLs and there are educators who want to grow themselves to be top KOLs. So I mean, do you have like a strategy or way to develop this like partnership or we call ecosystem to help those the educators or those people in the middle layer to get involved into to develop into
we're actively working on that.
and-
We're actively working on that. It's just difficult for us to engage like maybe like let's say 2,000 of creators whom we kind of closely work with. It's just difficult to kind of fully operationalize the process.
Yeah.
We are actively working on that sometimes, but I'm telling you, it's not easy to personalize the community of like 2,000 creators all over the world.
Yeah.
Where we are actively experimenting with that.
I see. Probably another question is, so could you share maybe some metrics that how you actually evaluate the performance of those influencers, or like especially today in such a noisy market, like what kind of metric do you think is still very important in terms of evaluate their performance or like to continue the partnership with the...
That's a good point. I think you always want to measure the performance of posts over the time, your post versus competitors' post, and so on. And I think that's always well defined. You look at like CPM, cost per engagement, try to measure which channel is the most productive, most efficient, and but I would say the most challenging thing is to work with bots. Bots is a real issue. Like a lot of engagement numbers are fake. Just fake.
Impression numbers too.
Impressions for sure, but engagement as well. In the past, it was easy. You look at engagement to views ratio and you say it's fake or not fake. Now both engagement and view numbers can be fake. And that's, by the way, is the major problem for the whole industry. I think that's way bigger problem than Higgsfield. You go to Snapchat ads, you go to Meta ads, you go to any ad platform, you see some number of views. You can never verify if that's the case.
Yep.
So, and I think that there is an overall problem of trust of the numbers presented on social media.
Right.
And I think we hope that Gen AI is going to become the new sort of form of media. When I say that today, it's hard to kind of imagine that, but over the time, we just are going to get personalized. And I hope this will eventually bring more transparency.
Yeah.
And there will be more like horizontal solutions across all this, let's say, social media platforms to drive higher level of transparency. Today, it's a major issue for everyone, even for bigger brands, for smaller companies, up and rising companies like Higgsfield, it's the same issue.
Okay.
Yeah, and which platform would you say is doing better in terms of fighting against a bot, providing with transparency?
I know that at Snap, when I was at Snap, it was a top priority. I know that a lot of people like to say that Pixar is not doing a great job, but I don't have any recent research, so I would reserve my opinion.
Okay, yeah. And you just mentioned about the creators community. I think creators community is a really important part for you to to foster the ecosystem. I think also users community is also very important. I see you have Discord for the community. So I just wonder if you have any best practices for building the user community, because everyone knows you can put UGC content on the website for everyone to see, but probably that's what we see. But how to build out a community? Do you have any?
Like at Higgsfield, we have several tiers of kind of communities and creators. It comes with pros and cons. The cons is that when some creators learn they're not like top tier community, they're like... Yes, but I think we also try to support a lot supports external communities, competitions, and so on.
Okay.
I think it's because I think to that point it's like trying to maybe upgrade like amateur creators to like middle level creators and incentivize them to make a good looking AI generated video which may actually inspire others to try video AI. I think there is still, and being like AI educator, I think is the best job today.
And then we are seeing that there are kind of new professionals, probably called video AI video, tutor or mentor on the internet right now. They're just making different kinds, using different kind of tools to make videos and also tutorials or workshops.
Yes.
For the people who want to quickly learn the AI tools.
Yeah, the first time that I got to learn about Higgsfield is actually through a creator. The creator has a portfolio on Higgsfield, and when we were actually looking for UGC creators, and that creator actually sent over the Higgsfield portfolio saying, "Hey, these are all the AI videos that I generated."
Yes.
So in terms of user community, do you see it more as a way to engage creators, existing users, or you also see it as a different way to grow and expand?
I think that's the most difficult thing is like how you operationalize the build a fair process for a few thousand people. I think that's just difficult.
Right.
As creator, especially when it's public, it like unfair, let's say, treatments or evaluation can really spark a lot of controversy. I think this is it's a little bit niche. It's still a little bit niche community.
Okay.
Gotcha. And among all the go-to-market channels, and they talk a lot about creator marketing, and then we also touch a little bit on the user community. Are there any other channels that you prioritize at the moment?
Just getting as much educational materials out as possible.
Gotcha.
And also, probably have you started to try? Maybe this is also my personal question. Have you tried anything in terms of the geo, like? Because the or AEO we call it, like to make it our products or contents appear more in those ChatGPT or those chatbots. Have you tried something like that, or how
we
do
started.
you view this trend?
Yeah, we do work on that, of course. We do work on that. We do work, yes.
But not a priority, something.
So you're doing something.
Yeah, I think that's not yet. I mean, like we are really. I mean, I know that this is going to grow. Yeah. Our priority is just to cover all the. Like the sort of cover making sure that whatever social media marketing workflow exists today and is growing, Higgsfield is part of that. On the AI video generation process, we are not building our own ad platform. Well, I think it's important for us to become the backbone for social media video generation using generative AI.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a bold idea because you talk about like how the different social media platform will change, and even right now OpenAI is trying to tap into become a new social media platform. Yeah. It's somewhere that down the road there also possibility that we can become a social media platform.
No, we don't. We don't want to be that. We I know that you think. I mean, I know that you mentioned privately that our statements of building creative operating system is a bold statement. But I want to really unpack this a little bit. When I say when it comes to larger teams, like over 50 people, then it typically involves a management of several social media channels, and like really trying to make sense of content and data.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I mean by creative operating system.
Oh, okay.
How I can make relevant content. Today for those different social medias and how I can make sense out of the results and do better tomorrow.
Okay. So have you already built actually an engine or a way to quickly monitor what is going hit on the social media, and then you try to build the content as quickly as possible and ship it to the creator? We are actively working with the partners on that. Yes. Okay.
That's a top priority.
Okay. Nice. And probably we got some few more minutes, and we can talk about a little bit about the vision and the future. So I think overall you've tested a lot of models. You can see the pros and cons of current models, and you definitely see they are evolving. So riding with the trend. So in 2 or 3 years, probably, what are some use cases that you said our product or Higgsfield is going to unlock?
In 3 years, we are going to be at the moments where it's the impact of video AI on social media content. It's just going to be so profound. And I think it is, we talk about tens of millions of social media professionals making, like maybe 10 million social media professionals making videos using AI, I think ultimately the diversity of content is going to drastically increase.
Yeah.
But also I think it's also going to make it a bit more balanced, meaning that today you will not, I can tell you like just a funny story. So one of the companies, Higgsfield clients, they use Higgsfield to make UGC ads for a wellness product, targeting people in their 50 and 60.
Okay.
It's almost impossible for them to find a creator on TikTok marketplace.
Oh yes.
Yeah, who's
Yeah.
gonna represent the brand.
So unlock a lot of like really marketing opportunities
Yes.
for their products. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just say, look, and also I think like all this Barbie stereotype of marketing doesn't work for like these wellness products. It kind of needs to show the transformation, right? Marketers need to show the transformation. So I think that's just one example. And I think today we are not fully, I mean, it's difficult just for us to scope because social media became it's like we live in this attention economy. It became the most important form of media, and it's going to be drastically transformed.
Yeah.
I hope that it leads to higher level of diversity. We saw that slop content, brain rots, like let's say these animated contents, which people are pushing from Sora is just one of the examples, but there are going to be much more than that. Slop is just the easiest one. That's why we see it the first.
Okay. And also probably we just see also the film industry or maybe the movie industry. We just see some disruptions or being disrupted in the next 2 or 3 years, or there's still a long time?
I'm not really focused on these markets.
Okay.
There are so many external forces, and I'm not sure. Obviously, I think when you think about like some types of the videos, and like let's say Sydney Sweeney ad, it's gonna remain. It's gonna stay there because it's because people wanna see Sydney. No AI can like make it like exactly pixel perfect.
Right.
So, and this video can be reused many times. It doesn't have the life cycle of just one day. Most of social media content has a life cycle of one day.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are gonna be a place for like physical production of genuine content, original content, which has lifespan more than a day.
Right.
But that's gonna be just the premium part of the market, maybe like 10%, 80, 20%.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people are gonna keep recording themselves. Of course, that's gonna be a substantial part of the market, but the rest of that is gonna be Gen AI.
Right.
Gotcha. I think you also talked about like the biggest issue in the AI generative video industry right now is about high cost.
Yes.
And I assume that a lot of cost will be just the cost for user models and in terms of that, in the next 3 years, is there any product direction that you want to optimize so that we can mitigate some of the cost related issues?
Of course, as these use cases mature, we are running a lot of post training and optimization to make costs 10 times down. So that's where we could be differentiated for, let's say, for 20% of maybe like let's say 5-10% of the use cases which drive most of the adoption, we can deliver very efficient models.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Nice.
But there always be new models coming out that people will
Yeah,
always
then
be
we'll
curious
try
by
more.
the most
Absolutely.
expensive one.
Absolutely. In the next 6 months, it's likely to be the case, as the pace of innovation is like one new model a week.
Right.
I mean, at some point, these models get bigger. The pace of innovation is going to become more like an LLM today, which is a little
Gotcha.
slower.
Yeah.
While even like let's say new DeepSeek comes out, Kimi or whatever, it doesn't necessarily make people to switch from OpenAI.
Right.
We're gonna get to that level of maturity with video. Video probably is the most difficult domain.
Yep.
That's why it takes more time for industry to mature, and it's probably like 2 years behind the coding space. We're gonna get there as well.
Yeah, yeah, agree. So maybe one prediction I hope you can make is that, because last week I read from the article that like they say AI articles takes just over past 50% of all the web articles contents right
Yes.
now last week, I think. So in your prediction, how did the video content
The same
will be
true. The same true.
in
Half,
next
at
2
least half
years?
is gonna be AI generated in the next 3 years, probably.
Next 3 years? Okay.
Yes.
That's a board.
Yeah, I think we talk about double-digit % of content being AI generated in the next 3 years for sure. I think earlier, but the timeline, max timeline is 5 years. So, and I think so. My bold prediction is they're going to be like out of the current companies today on the market, they're gonna be losers who all cumulatively lose more than $500 billion in market cap. And there are gonna be some company which gains this $500 billion cap, and that's gonna happen in the next 3 years. In the space of social media video, we just don't know who it is. But I think they're gonna be clearly winners and losers.
Okay, yeah, nice. All right, so I think I was come to an end. Probably we have 2 more quick fire questions that we prepare, and just what pops to your mind at the at the beginning, and just answer it. So I have one question on my hand. So what's the most counterintuitive decision you have made in the past years after building the Higgsfield?
Of course, so I think that's a very easy question, as we got a lot of advice from investors that video AI is extremely, it's like how it's called, red ocean, very saturated space. A lot of companies, difficult to differentiate, and we shouldn't be pursuing like these prosumer markets. But I think it's even today, no one has the viable team plan and storyboarding, and those are table stakes. We are filling this gap, and with Higgsfield, and I think we're just very early. So that naturally, most of these companies, maybe except Google, they will have to like verticalize over the time. So. But I think just really being less receptive to what some investors say and really focus on adoption patterns, I think, is the most difficult decision.
Okay, nice.
And then what's your most exciting moment since started Higgsfield?
The most exciting moments for me was to see... but that's like a long question, but I think... Look, I think it's not probably the right time and place to talk deeper about that, but I'm really excited about this new model of AI agencies, like the teams, like maybe like up to 10 people, up to 20 people, who are revolutionizing like the whole way bigger agency model. As like in agency world, as I see, there is a lot of consolidation, but on the one side. And it may look a little, and it may look like bigger players get only bigger. But these new agencies, they redevelop process completely with AI. So seeing that Higgsfield can drive their success, I think was very important. And most of these agencies, they come from emerging markets. So seeing that it provides net new economic opportunities, I think that's something which excites me.
Okay.
Super exciting.
Super excited.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's the end, and
Thank you.
And thank you so much for Alex coming today, and we really hope that we can invite you or interview again in the next 6 months, and we're gonna see a huge change in this market as well.
Sounds good.
I'm
Thank you.
super excited to see what comes to next.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
All right.